Do you feel like when you make one mistake during a game, everything just starts going downhill? You make one bad play, then your confidence ends up being gone. You start crashing out, then the game ends up just being cooked. And most athletes think the mistake itself is the problem, but it's not. It's what you allow the mistake to do to you internally is the problem. And if you don't handle this mistake properly, it's going to handle you. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how one mistake can ruin your whole game. And more importantly, how to handle this mistake before it handles you. All right, so let's get started. So firstly, I'm going to walk you through from when you actually make that first mistake to all the way to where it ends up cooking your whole game. So let's say we're gonna say we play football, for example, American football. All right. So let's say you're a wide receiver and you dropped a wide open pass. You were like booty butt naked in the end zone and you dropped it for whatever reason, right? And most people think like, oh, like I fucking suck, like I'm ass, like you have no hands. And you hear the crowd walking back to the bench, like, damn, he could even catch a cold if he wanted to, just shit like that, right? Then you start getting in your own head. You start really feeling like you're absolute trash, right? Then you go out there and you're just pissed off because you dropped the ball, right? And now you're thinking, oh, I have to catch the next one. I have to catch the next one. Then you start overthinking and start hesitating. Like, all right, I have to have my hands this way. I start to do it this way. And next thing you know, the quarterback tosses you the ball again and then you drop it again. And then it makes you more mad than you were before, right? So now one mistake leads to another mistake. And now it's making you react worse and making you feel worse than you were initially before that first mistake. It's like a snowball effect, is what I'm essentially trying to get you to understand. And that one mistake turned into 10 mistakes, and those 10 mistakes led to you having a bad game, right? Just having a complete shitter bowl. Like just recently, like CJ Stroud in the playoffs. Man he didn't have to be Superman at quarterback. He has the most elite defense in the league, in my opinion. Well, after the Seahawks, in my opinion. And all he really had to do was just game manage, but he wanted to be Superman, right? And he made one bad mistake. He ended up throwing an interception, right? Just like every quarterback does every now and then. But his mistake was letting that mistake affect him internally, is what I'm trying to get you to understand. So after he threw that first interception, I'm sure in his head I was like, fuck, why'd I throw that? Damn, I'm a dumbass. Why did I do that? Like he was standing right there, and that one interception led to 4 interceptions and led to him having a bad game and absolutely getting crucified by the media and all his fans after that. Just because he let that one interception, let that one mistake define him, essentially. Right? So that's how one mistake can ruin your game. And that's what I don't want you guys to do, because that's what most athletes end up doing. So the bottom line is what I'm trying to explain is I don't want you to let that mistake affect you mentally and emotionally. I don't want you thinking you're ass. I don't want you feeling like you're ass, because it's going to lead to more mistakes and it's going to lead to a bad game. And then it's going to lead to you even having a slump, a multitude of bad games. And that's what I don't want to happen. And that's what I'm here to help you try to do. All right. So to build off that point, and the first thing I need you guys to realize and really lock in is it's not the mistake that's the problem. It's what you allow it to do to you internally is the problem, right? And I learned this from my guy Neuro Knowledge, and he gave a great analogy. It's not the snake bite that kills you, it's the poison that does. And in our case specifically, what that means, to really break it down, is it's not the bad play that cooks us. It's what we allow that bad play to do to us mentally and emotionally. Because if we allow that bad play to make us feel and make us think like I'm playing like ass or I'm garbage, then how do you think you're going to play? You're just going to keep playing like bad. If you keep thinking and telling yourself those things, then you're going to end up in the cycle and walk down the path I just explained to you like a minute or 2 minutes ago, or however long it was. And that's because your perception will always create your projection. And I call this the pee loop. And this is also something that I learned from Neuro also. I had talked about this in one of my other videos. I think it's under how to handle a bad game. Or I don't know. It's in one of my other videos. Y'all can go watch it. And essentially, to break it down, what it is what you perceive is what you project. So if you're perceiving yourself as not playing good and you're not good enough, then that's how you're going to play, like I just explained. Or an analogy outside of sports, let's say let's say you have a really good day. You wake up, your crush just texted you in the morning, like a good morning text saying I fucking love you or something like that. And you're thinking, you're perceiving, oh, today's about to be the greatest day ever. Oh my God. The next thing you know, somebody sells you some money. Then next thing you know, I don't know, your mom just made you food or something, it's the greatest day ever because that was your perception all day. Today's gonna be a good day. Like, this is such a good thing. This is such a good thing. And that's what you're projecting. But it can also work against you too. Just like in sports, like that one bad play can make you think, like, oh man, like this is about to be a badass game. Like, I really fucked that up. Like, I really shit the bed. Then you lead one, then one bad play leads to another. One mistake leads to another, and it just snowballs into a bad game, into a multitude of bad games sometimes. Right? You guys get what I'm saying? Your perception will always change your projection. Oh my God, I can barely talk. Your perception will always shape your projection. There you go. So, what I need you guys to do is to change your perception towards the problem. That's the first thing that I want you guys to do because the problem is never the problem. It's your perception towards the problem, your perceptions towards the mistake in this case. Okay? Because it's inevitable that you're going to have a bad play. I would be lying to you to say you didn't or you're not going to, even with all the information that I'm giving you in this video or on this whole channel in general. All right? Because there's no such thing as a life without no problems. There's no such thing as an athlete without no bad plays. I'm sorry. Like, I would be lying to you. I'm sorry. Like, I wish that it wasn't the case, but that's just the way it is. All right? And the difference between the elite athletes and the good athletes is they know how to handle it before it handles them. All this information does is it puts you in a place to be able to handle these things better before it handles you, like I just said. All right? And just to reiterate something I said like a minute ago, the problem or the mistake is never the problem. It's your perception towards the problem. Okay, I need you to always remember that. I need you to look at it as like this a small thing. That mistake as the smallest mistake. Because if you make this problem or the mistake in this case as like the biggest, grandest, hardest thing ever, pause, then that's what it's going to feel like. Because adversity is in the strength that you give it. And if you make it like what I just said, then it's gonna feel like you're playing the game with a 100-pound weight vest on. You're just making it the game harder already than it should be. You get what I'm saying? So I need you to change your perception. Change your perception, change your perception, change your perception. All right? That's the first thing that I want you guys to do. Right after you make that mistake, I'll be like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. It's basically, all right, this is a small thing. I'm going to get over it. All right? I don't want you to feel like it's the end of the world or it's the end of the game or end of your career or anything. You know, because some of y'all think like that sometimes. Like, oh, I dropped the fucking ball. Like, there goes my career. All right? I don't want you to think like that. Secondly, the second thing that I want you guys to do is acknowledge the mistake and more importantly, feel it. And I know this may sound very contradicting than what a lot of people tell you because a lot of people just suppress that mistake in the back of their mind and ignore it, right? But in reality, if it's in the back of your mind, it's going to keep haunting you. The back of your mind is essentially your subconscious mind. If it's in your subconscious mind, oh, buddy, you're cooked, right? It's gonna just be like the shadow or the thing that just haunts you all the time, all right? So I need you to acknowledge that mistake, acknowledge what you did wrong, more importantly, and feel it. Feel all the emotions of the anguish, of the disappointment, whatever it is, and just feel it, right? And I know games are quick, but just take a deep breath. I'm like, all right, I did this wrong. Acknowledge it. All right, I feel this way. All right, time to push it. Keep it moving. All right. Then the third thing I want you to do is I need you to remember who the fuck you are. All right. And listen, you wouldn't be at the grand stage. You wouldn't be playing in these big games and doing the things that you're doing if you didn't make a bunch of good plays and do a bunch of good things before. Right? You've played good games before. You've made highlight plays. You've done this. You've done that. You probably have a whole list of them. Right? And that's the thing your mind makes you forget in these moments when you make a mistake. It wants you to think you're ass, you're garbage, and it makes you forget all the hundreds of times where you did do good, you didn't make a mistake, and you absolutely cooked. Right? So I need you to remember who the fuck you are in that moment. So to break it down from the first thing, I need you to change your perceptions towards the mistake and make it not seem so big. Acknowledge what you did, and more importantly, feel it and feel the feelings. And thirdly, I need you to remember at least one good thing, at least one good play from this game or another game before to where like you did good, like you made a really good play where you really defied the odds and really feel it in emotionally. It's gonna put you in a good perception because, like I said earlier, your perception will shape your projection. So if you're thinking and feeling good again, then you're going to play good again. All right. Now, and the next thing is the last thing I should say. I just need you to focus on one small thing. Like I don't want you to go out there thinking like, all right, okay, let's go back to the football example. It's like, oh, I need to catch a touchdown pass now. Oh, I need to catch a 50-yard bomb now, and I'm gonna feel good. Just focus on one small thing. Like, okay, like did I read no, did I run my route right? Right? Even if they didn't throw you the ball. Did I line up correctly? Did I make a good block? Right? Because like I said, it's gonna shape your it's gonna change your perception, and then it's gonna shape your projection. So if you're thinking and feeling good about the small things, then it's going to snowball. Well, wait, yeah, snowball into something good. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it was going down, so I thought it was bad. But y'all get the point. So the bottom line, so break it down from the moment you make a mistake. The first thing that I want you to do is I need you to change your perception because your perception will always shape your projection. So I need you to perceive this mistake as like the smallest, easiest thing to get over ever. Because if you perceive it as this big hard thing, pause, then that's what it's gonna feel like. And that's just gonna feel like when you're playing the game, like you're just weighed down and you just can't get out of a ditch you're digging yourself in, essentially. All right? That's the first thing. Change your perception. Second thing is, I need you to acknowledge the mistake that you made and more importantly, feel it. Because if you suppress that mistake and put it in the back of your head, it's just gonna keep sitting with you and lingering all game and it's gonna keep making you play like trash. All right? Because if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't feel it, it's going to keep being there until you do. All right? So, in between plays or whenever you do have a break, just call out that mistake like, "Okay, I made a bad read." All right? Not I'm ass, not I'm trash, not those things. Just like, "All right, I made a bad read or I dropped the ball." And feel that anguish, feel that disappointment, and then let it go. Right? My favorite step, the next step after that, like I said, I need you to remember who the fuck you are. Now I need you to remember and think and feel on the time you did make a good play, the time you did defy the odds, and when you hit the game winner, you caught that game winning pass, whatever it is, and think and feel that. Because like I said, your perception will change your projection. So if you're perceiving yourself as, oh, I did that. Like I've been there before. I'm hella good. Like why am I thinking? You're gonna project more of that into your gameplay. Because if you're thinking and feeling good, how do you think you're going to play? Right? Now, last thing, I need you to or the last thing, I need you to focus on one small thing. Just one small thing. All right, the next, not I need to score fucking 3 touchdowns now in order to redeem myself. Not I need to score 50 points, whatever it is. I need you to focus on like, all right, I just need to run the right route. I just need to make the right pass, something. You're just getting another small win, right? And those small wins will turn into big wins and then it's a snowball because it shapes your perception. And because your perception always shapes what? Your projection. That's right. All right, you've been paying attention. So now once you make that mistake, you're at a fork in the road now. You're either gonna walk down the path I just showed you, or you're gonna walk down the path that everybody else walks on and allow one mistake to turn into a bad game. But now that you watched this video, you're not gonna let that happen. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.